No, I do not want to go to the gym. I got too much going on already. I'm already the smartest person you're ever gonna meet in your fucking life. I'm the funniest person you're ever gonna meet in your fucking life. I'm the fucking nicest person you're ever gonna meet in your fucking life. And I'm pretty good in bed. I can't be skinny too.
Herself.
What are you seeing for vaccine injuries?
33, just this past week, how about this? 3 fully vaccinated individuals deceased, in clots left and right, DVTs, pulmonary emboli, blood thinners, and this was ever since they got vaccinated. I had a 30-year-old woman who started bleeding, basically hemorrhaging ever since she got injected, literally within the 48 hours, and she this poor woman is a mother of 2. Like I said, 30 years old, and she was fully vaccinated and regrets it deeply. This was a month ago, and she is now intubated in critical condition, fighting for her life, potentially about to leave her children motherless, and of course she regrets 1,000% being injected, and she acknowledges this. So did her physician. So I don't know why the lies continue. I see it every single day. This whole story about 90% unvaccinated cases, no. I can tell you I've been in the front of the lines for the last year and 8 months, or however long it's been, too long, and that is a complete lie. I have seen nothing but vaccinated individuals, unvaccinated as well. But don't believe the lies, don't believe the media. It's all bullshit.
And you work in the ICU, right?
I have worked ICU. I am on a unit that is strictly COVID patients at this point.
So the news media is lying. How about that?
The whole time, the entire time.
You guys need to miss me with that my body, my choice, her body, her choice shit. You need to miss me with that. She didn't have a choice. It was either the jab or she lost her job. How many of you motherfuckers can live without a job right now? I'll wait. Those of you that don't own businesses, how many of you can live without your job? I didn't think so. So before you run your mouth some more saying her job, her body, her choice, my body, my choice, you need to shut the fuck up, because you do not know people's circumstances. Quit thinking you motherfuckers are on a goddamn pedestal, because none of you are better than anybody else. And I'm sure a lot of you are one paycheck away from being homeless.
Don't put me in a position where I've got to show you how heartless I can be. You might never look at me the same.
How could you be that popular but still feel alone?
When I say alone, I mean, again, when those doors close. When the lights cut, after the thank you, you got the homies, then you get to the bus, and then, y'all boys good, blah, 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 whatever, and then them doors close. And again, so you start to think, well, do anyone actually care? Will it matter when it's all over? Will I matter? And that's always the question. Mm-hmm. Will you matter when it's all over? Will you matter? Not the things you've done, the things you've done for everyone else, but will you actually matter to them, but most of all to you?
I voted for Joe Biden, and I regret it. Media made Donald Trump look so terrible that I thought that he was the only answer. But within 7 months, there's been a collapse of the southern border, collapse of Afghanistan, and a gas crisis. I don't think Donald Trump would ever do that to us. I fucked up.
So, since we're just giving our artillery to the Taliban, I'm not going to hear any more about gun control, right?
You guys keep making us deal Old Testament, New Testament. That's not the fucking point. The point is, when you go to church, you read the whole fucking Bible. They teach you about both, right? Yes or no? Yes, right? Okay, you're not gonna pick and choose. Shit. Oh, well, that's not in the New Testament. I don't give a fuck what it's in. It's still part of your fucking religion's history. And some people still go by that. Stop this fucking, oh, well, that's the Old Testament. I don't give a fuck. Old Testament, New Testament, Future Testament, what the fuck ever. It still happens. And it still happens to this day. Shut your fucking mouth when it comes to other religions. You motherfuckers have no room to talk. Period.
So another Kabul update. If you've been following me, you know I have contacts because I run the recall roster, and this is where all this information comes from. So this may be something you guys already know, but I can confirm it. We have no idea who's coming in this country. From my contacts with the recall roster, the people that are vetting these Afghans are not intelligence. They are random people pulled from the base, privates and so on, doing all this. So us as veterans, we're worried. Is Taliban among them? Yeah. So take this how you want to, but I know that 10,000 Afghans have been given $20,000 to start their new life in America. That's $200 million out of the taxpayer's pocket. So with not knowing who's coming into this country, keep your head on a swivel. Everybody's worried. Beagle out.
You ever have somebody not like you, damn near hate you for reasons unknown? You just be like, I ain't did shit to this person. I stay out my way. Matter of fact, you ain't did nothing to nobody. But for some reason, this person or that group of people feel a strong dislike towards you. Although you do nobody wrong. And you probably perceive yourself as a very, caring, respectable, and mature person. Well, I'm here to break it to you. You have a soul. You have spirit. Not everybody in this world was blessed with that. So when you come around people who don't have it, they can sense that you have something that they don't. And that'll be the main reason as to why they don't like you.
You know what they say? Little girls, they touch the light here. They if she crosses the street, she can get to me. You know what I'm saying? And I'm not saying that to be nasty or nothing.
Yo, can I ask you about Afghanistan? Afghanistan?
I drive a BMW that runs on gas from the place with the... I don't know what they call it, but I haven't ate lunch today.
Hey, don't forget to check your watch.
And there's people dying all the time. I forgot my watch because I don't know what I'm doing here. I forgot.
Missouri police chief unexpectedly resigns along with every single officer. I bet you they're not the only police force to do that. Y'all better wake up. We can fight. They think they got the law on their side, but they don't. These police are not having it either. They're not. We need to stand together, unite together, police, civilians, and everybody to fight this shit. Come on now.
There's over 750,000 sex offenders in the United States. None of them have to show proof of being registered to enter a bar, hospital, or a public place because it violates their privacy. Let that sink in.
Howard Stern is ripping people who aren't getting the vaccine, saying, fuck your freedom. Really? Fuck your freedom? Howard, are you the man who's made a $650 million fortune on the back of freedom? Freedom of speech, freedom of the press, freedom to do things like bring women like Carney Wilson onto your show and not bother to tell her she was actually not staying on the floor. She was standing on a scale and her weight was being displayed above her the entire time. Are you also the man who sexualized the victims of the Columbine massacre? Did you host a literal freak show with people you called Gary the retard who had Down syndrome or Eric the midget? And are you the man who stitched together words in Dolly Parton's interview to make it sound like she was saying offensive, disgusting, racist things? You do not come for Dolly. The bottom line is this gawky motherfucker doesn't care about saving lives or public health. He cares about the same thing he's always cared about. Power over other people.
The fact that girls watch serial killer documentaries to relax, and y'all still play with their feelings? Damn.
This is for every single person who has ever lost anybody due to this fucking bullshit ass vaccine. Now is our time. Now is our time. Make sure you write, show up, phone calls to your local senator, congressman and woman, to your freaking mayor, to your governor. We are not going to sit down and take this bullshit ass mandate. No, we are not going to do that. And to those of you that want to stand with us and do the same fucking thing. But do not be cowards. This is not a coward move. This is not something for you to just sit here and say, hey, guess what? Yeah, I made that phone call knowing damn well you did. This is time for you to grab your nuts and your fucking balls, whatever the fuck you want to do, grab them and fucking start making moves. Now is the time to fucking move. Now is not the time to be silent. Ain't nobody gonna fucking save us but us. Are you ready? Or are you gonna sit here and cower down?
Fox News alert. A bombshell new report suggesting Biden's botched exit from Afghanistan was even worse than we thought. According to the New York Times, the ISIS terrorists that Biden supposedly droned in retaliation for the airport attack in Kabul was not an ISIS terrorist after all. He was a U.S. aid worker. In his rush to clean up the mess, his incompetence caused at the airport, where 13 U.S. service members lost their lives, he authorized a drone strike on the wrong guy and likely killed several children as well. Video uncovered by the Times shows that the aid worker was not loading bombs into his car. He was loading bottles of water.
This is a PSA to folks that are living in these mega liberal states right now. Escape while you still can. I was told that I'd be going to the middle of nowhere out here in Tennessee. There's a Starbucks behind me. People said that blue-collar jobs would leave me making $7 an hour out here. And that might be somewhere near the minimum wage, but tell that to Chick-fil-A, who's hiring for $15 an hour, and the Waffle House, who also pays above minimum wage. I'm about to move into a 3-bedroom home that's giant with a creek in the backyard, and it's less than what I paid for a 1-bedroom apartment in California. The downtown area here in Knoxville is beautiful. There's literally a pond behind me. And yeah, there might be a church on every corner, but at least there's not a homeless person on every single corner. Oh, and finally, for all the people who told me it'd be just nothing but a bunch of backwards hillbillies out here, if you consider knowing how to fix things, fish, and hunt to be not valuable skills or uneducated, then I guess, yeah, don't come here. But otherwise, come on down.
If you live in California, you know it's impossible to live here. Cost of living is through the roof. Gas prices are literally at $5 a gallon now, which makes no sense because we have 3 refineries here. Most states don't even have refineries, and they're way below us. That's weird. We have the highest homeless population by far, but we also have the highest paid governor, and nothing's being done about any of it. I ride a motorcycle. We got taxed on gas twice already because they were saying they're going to use it to fix the roads. While on my motorcycle, I realized they haven't fixed shit. As a Californian, I hate living here. But I pay so much money, I can never afford to even move. So as a Californian, I think we should recall Gavin Newsom, as do many Californians, including Democrat and Republican. But unfortunately, abuse has gotten to some of you. Today, Joe Biden's with Gavin Newsom at the Liberal Arts College in Long Beach, California, to talk to everybody about how this Republican recall is bad. Although it's not a Republican recall, it's a Californian recall. No Californian loves living here. But an abused person would stick up for their abuser. And that's what I'm seeing anybody who supports Gavin Newsom doing today. It's really sad. It's like they like the gas prices. It's like they like that they can't afford to live. They probably love the homeless.
Your COVID-19 vaccine, you're going to want to listen to this. The Red Cross says anyone who has received their COVID-19 vaccine cannot donate convalescent plasma to help other COVID-19 patients in hospitals. That plasma is made up of antibodies from people who have recovered from the virus, but the vaccine wipes out those antibodies.
Oh, we're not going to go past that. Like you didn't just say what you just said. One more time.
But the vaccine wipes out those antibodies. Making the convalescent plasma ineffective in treating other COVID-19 patients.
So you're telling me that the vaccine wipes out any natural antibodies that you had?
If you have natural antibodies, they want you to take the COVID vaccine so that you no longer have antibodies, effectively wiping out a treatment that could save people in the future that get COVID. To that point, convalescent plasma won't work.
Today is a really beautiful day, and I'm going to share some things that make me happy about it. I'm living my dream. I own a tattoo shop. I also am expanding that tattoo shop to be an art studio where people can learn and grow and take classes. I work on the waterfront. I have a supportive friends, family, and crew. I'm happy, healthy, and alive. My door rings to let me know that business is beginning. I have an open and close sign that I'm really ecstatic to flip whenever I come in. I have a beautiful space where creativity flourishes, and I have wonderful supporters, and I just wanted to let you know that I'm thankful for all of it. And there's a lot that we can all be thankful for.
How is that possible?
This is exactly why me and Serena said on the podcast that hookup culture benefits men 110%. Like, it is all on women when they get pregnant. Men get to walk away. And guess what? You don't get rich off child support. Call up Grimes' dumb ass and ask her how that's going to go for her against Elon Musk's team of lawyers. And then not only that, think of the fucking brainwashing that American women are under for them to actually believe that marriage is too big of a commitment, but a child isn't. In a country where there's no maternity leave, no fucking health care, they aren't paid equally, but yes, let's give the gift of a child to a man who isn't gonna, men on the left or right who aren't fighting for that. Like, it's incredible. And why would they fight for that when not only are they still getting the pussy they want, but also women are raising their children without complaint?
Madam Speaker, this is my generation's long-form death certificate. You endorsed it, you own it, and you will pass it. But I will be the one who pay for it. My generation. And if America still stands, my grandchildren will pay for this Trojan horse of a socialist proposal. $3.5 trillion in unhinged, unconscionable, irredeemable spending. It's the final nail in the coffin of the American dream. Karl Marx would even call this bill radical. Look at this. This is a pallet of $100 million. And for scale, beside that is me. And behind all of that is what the Democrats are proposed to spend. You've stolen my generation's checkbook. And Madam Speaker, we want it back. No American who votes for this trash should ever see the inside of a legislative chamber ever again. They should never take another oath of office for Congress, for State House. Hell, they shouldn't even be able to get on a mosquito control board because they have endorsed the demise of the country they swore to protect. This is what crushing, overwhelming, unrecoverable debt looks like. And we haven't even talked about the substance. This proposal is legislative malfeasance on the lifeblood of our country, energy independence, and more importantly, energy dominance. You show me a nation's energy policies, and I'll show you the future of that nation. Under President Trump, our energy independence carved out our standing in the world. We were the captains of our destiny, not Middle East kingdoms. We augmented our national security through America First energy independence, not foreign reliance. America was leading the world. But when Joe Biden took office, our soaring, thriving energy independence came trashing down. Failed policies, fatal spending. That's your legacy, Madam Speaker. You have put before us a death wish for America. You stand guilty of financial treason, Madam Speaker, but the sentence will be served out by my generation.
Hey, man, let me tell you why when somebody brings up white privilege to me, I address that issue quick fast based on facts. First of all, I came up on food stamps and government cheese in a community where I was the minority. I don't have more access to special grants, loans, scholarships, and job training skills designed just for me based solely upon the color of my skin, unlike you. I don't have TV shows and channels, magazines and colleges designed just for me and my ethnicity. I don't use racial slurs, make fun of, or mock anybody based solely upon the color of their skin, but it's okay and common for you to do so. There is only one ethnicity that has more privilege over the others in the United States of America in 2021. So use it wisely.
Can't stand people that are like eating a bucket of like Haagen-Dazs ice cream. Like, I'm so fat.
Chloe, you lost weight because you got it vacuumed out. Then you got it pumped back into your ass so you could be like your sister who's way more famous than you because you were way jealous of it. And you know what? All of your sisters did the same thing when they started gaining weight. They sucked it out of their fucking stomach and pumped it in their ass. So what the fuck are you talking about? You didn't get off your ass and do anything. You took a couple of fucking Instagram pictures, heavily filtered them, and then put them online to make little girls feel like shit. And now you're talking about fat people saying that they're not doing anything when they have to fucking go through life and deal with people like you saying shit like that? The fuck is wrong with you? What the fuck is wrong with you? Why don't you get the fuck up off your ass?
Yes, it is very true. But also, like pretty privilege, there's a level of hate that comes with it that we are not allowed to talk about. But I'm going to do it now. When you look like me or look similar to me, there is a strong assumption that you are a stuck-up, light-skinned bitch that thinks you're better than everybody that's here to steal everybody's man. And the game that you have to play to try and make sure everybody in the room knows that you're not that person can be very exhausting. And as I have gotten older, I'm not willing to play it all the time. I am of the mindset, whatever feelings you have when you look at me, they are yours to deal with. Do I think your feelings are invalid when it comes to me on a personal level? Hell yeah, I did nothing to you. But on a society level, I get it. I understand it, and I am very mindful of it. But I'm not going to be held responsible for it. And that's just one thing that we as light-skinned people aren't allowed to talk about. Because when we mention these things, we're dismissed and it's minimized. We all go through stuff.
So let me get this straight. The protected need to be protected from the unprotected by forcing the unprotected to get the same protection that isn't protecting the protected. Make that make sense.
I graduated college 2.5 years ago, and the most important thing that I've learned is that the society that we live in does not value hard work nearly as much as it values delusional confidence. If you're confident enough, you can do whatever you want. If you have $50 and an internet connection, you can create business cards for whatever profession that you want to be in. I've been the CEO of Google for about 2 weeks now, and I leave my business cards everywhere. Hotels, bars, restaurants, Office Depot, I don't care. I get calls from people and they say, hey, you can't do this. This is fraud. It's illegal. And I say, well, take it up with the complaints department. Their number is on the card. And when they call the complaints department number, it redirects to the worst reviewed Applebee's in my tri-state area. Can you imagine being angry at a 25-year-old who's pretending to be the CEO of a major tech company, and when you call the complaints department number, somebody answers and they say, hi, welcome to Applebee's, this is Stacy, can I please put you on hold? It infuriates them, and it's funny. Who cares about anything? Nothing is real. Like lie, cheat, steal, be a con man. That's what everybody at the top has already done. What's stopping you? Who gives a shit?
She's dreaming she's important. Well, somebody should wake her. This gold-digging trophy wife's the royal baby maker. Fear the nerdy, wordy princess, cause I'm throwing more shade than the willow tree growing on your dead mother's grave. Your tale is old as time, sets us back 50 years. Do your chores, clean the floors till a man just appears. You're shallow and obsessed with looks and how you're dressed. You wanna live like Gaston? Please be our guest.
Oh, I'm the one who's shallow cause your prince was really hairy. The beast was in the friend zone till he gave you his library. Your boys have no merit. You're jealous? Declare it. Like I've always said, if the shoe fits, wear it. I'm the American dream with a fairy tale wedding. You got teapots for friends, and I think your man's shedding. Some things are meant to be, like love at first sight. Bibbidi bobbidi booyah, he was mine before midnight.
A relationship rookie wants to rap about romance. You can't fall in love after just one dance. My prince saved my life, and don't be misled. I want a man in the street, but a beast in the bed. Your film stars mice and cats with an old fat fairy. Your silly stories shoehorn into freaking Tom and Jerry. You say you want a party next to your runoff down the halls.
You know what's so funny? That people who physically, mentally, spiritually, and emotionally beat me up and broke me down are big mad at the fact that they're not getting credit for being a part of my story besides the credit of being my abusers. You think I give a fuck about all those little times that, oh, you bought me McDonald's, or oh, you let me sleep at your house? Do you think that outweighs the physical, mental, emotional, and spiritual abuse that you put me through? Do you think that just erases all the times that you stabbed me in the back, treated me like complete subhuman trash? Do you think that all the times that you said a couple of nice things to my face outdoes all the times that you were talking shit about me behind my fucking back? Do you think that I couldn't hear you from the other room talking shit right after you leave this room and have a conversation in front of me with a smile on your face? Do you really think that I don't see through your fucking bullshit? You can play victim to everybody and their fucking mama. You can continue to lie to yourself all you want. But I've let go of that version of me who's gonna put up with the fuckery. And I've outgrown the person who's gonna keep giving you chance after chance after chance after chance after chance because, oh, I'm just trying to see the good in people. If you wanted me to see the good in you, you wouldn't have treated me like shit.
So you either eat nothing or you eat way too much. Yep. You either do like 30 things at the same time or you do nothing. Yep. You either talk too much or you don't talk at all. Yes, sir. You either don't care about anything or you care way too much about everything. Pretty much, yeah. You either don't sleep or you sleep too much. Mm-hmm. You're either overstimulated or understimulated. Yes. You either have the best self-confidence or you hate yourself. Wow, I mean, yeah. And we're either gonna post this video or completely ditch the idea and restart. That's exactly right.
Carter Nordman. My understanding that you are the Iowa State representative who included language that requires all Iowa schools to lead the Pledge of Allegiance once a day in grades 1 through 12. When did we start teaching white nationalism in schools? Because that's exactly what the you're doing, sir, and you have absolutely no right to require something like that. Our children aren't proud to be American. Maybe the white suburban kids out in Adel are proud to be American because their rights are afforded to them every day and they don't have to fight for them. But for the rest of us who are women, the poor, the elderly, the minorities, we're not so proud. What are we proud of? We're proud of our racist history. We're proud of our racist roots. Is that what we're proud of? We're proud of the fact that not all citizens in the United States are afforded the same rights and the same privileges as just.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Proud Black American here.
So, Patriots, now they're starting to require vaccination in order to rent an apartment. When is enough gonna be enough, people? When are you guys gonna... When are we all, as a matter of fact, gonna finally do what all these other countries have done in order to fucking get out of this tyranny that our government has put us in? We are the current 1940s fucking Hitler ran Germany. Hitler happens to be Joe Biden and the House and the Senate. I don't give a shit if it's Republicans or Democrats. Right now, both of them are not doing us any favors. So when are we going to finally get up and stand up, huh? When are we going to finally take a stand? No more waiting. We can no longer wait. I don't care whatever you got to do. We can no longer wait, people. The time is now. Now is the time. Right fucking now is the time. We can no longer wait and allow our politicians to run this country and treat us like we're a bunch of scared cattle. When are we going to stand up and actually fight for ourselves? I don't care what anybody's doing. I don't care. If you're not doing anything, cool, whatever. If you are doing something, fucking make that shit quick. Hurry up. We need to do something, and we need to do something now. Respectively, 2022 cannot wait. I don't care how we do it. We just need to get it done. We need to take to the streets. We need to take our cities back. We need to take our fucking cities back. Do you hear me? We need to take our cities back. We need to take our government back. The time is now, people. Time is now. People are already ending up homeless because of this shit. Because they can't get an apartment, because of their vaccination status, because they refuse the vaccine. We can no longer sit idly by and wait. If you're going to be one of those that's going to sit idly by and wait, don't sit there and complain either. Seriously, do not complain. I don't want to hear it, and I'm sure thousands of other fucking patriots don't want to hear it either. I'm tired. Are you guys tired yet? Are you guys ready? You guys done? You guys done bitching? Let's do this then.
The liberals always seem to hate me because I'm a free-thinking individual. I think for myself. I love President Trump, and President Trump loves America. I don't fall under the race hustlers like Reverend Al Sharpton and Obama Hussein, who tell me that I'm oppressed. I'm not oppressed. You know why I'm not oppressed? Because I say that I'm not. You understand? I live for me. Democrats don't tell me what to do, nor they don't tell me how to think. I live for me. President Trump lives for America, and he supports all of us, red, white, and blue. So that's what I have to say.
I would like to thank all of you who have truly showed your true colors, and you got my GoFundMe shut down. I would like to thank you for showing how spineless and ridiculous you are. I pray nothing happens to your family to where you need to actually utilize a service like that. Because if you ever do, you are the biggest hypocrite on the face of the planet. You shut my shit down because you didn't like what I have to say. You didn't like the fact that my sister died because of the damn vaccine. You are the worst kind of person on the face of this planet. You are absolutely pathetic. You are the lowest form of individual I have ever freaking seen. It's unbelievable that people such as yourself exist. All because you don't like the fact that my sister died from the vaccine. I'm not gonna pray anything happens to you because I know karma will get you regardless. How severe it is up to you. But if you ever in your life have to utilize something like that, just remember what you did to somebody else. And just remember how much of a hypocrite you are. Just remember how much of a spineless, psychotic nut job you are. I don't care to pray for you. I don't care to wish evil upon you. Although that's what I really want to say. I just hope you know what you did. Not that you give a fuck. But thank you for being a piece of shit.
Human females engage in hypergamy, and this is also true cross-culturally. Women mate across and up dominance hierarchies. Men mate across and down. The socioeconomic status of a woman is determines almost zero of her attractiveness towards a man. Whereas the socioeconomic status of a man is a major determinant of his attractiveness towards a woman. And it isn't his wealth either, because that's been tested. It's his capacity to generate and be productive and to share, because that beats the hell out of wealth. Wealth can disappear, right? But the capacity to be productive and share, that's a much more important element. Women make intense demands on men, and it's no wonder. But the thing is that because women engaged in hypergamy, at least in part, we diverged quite rapidly from chimpanzees, because the selection pressure that women placed on men developed the entire species.
So let's talk about this user plus size Blanco before she makes a video about me or responds to me. Check out the third video on her account, which is the video that I commented under, which started this whole thing. In that video, she actually made a lot of valid points that I agreed with, but there was just one little point that I happened to disagree with that I commented about under her post. This was the comment that I made. Fat does not equal healthy, and that's a fact that many fat activists don't want to accept. Then she responded with, I get off work at 2, just wait for this clapback and don't delete your comment because I'll find you. So just as I suspect would happen, she did not want to hear that being fat is unhealthy, just like every other fat activist out there. So again, it is a fact that being fat is unhealthy. If you don't think it is, you are denying the truth. But the moment that you accept the truth is the moment you won't get so defensive and so offended when someone tells you that. Your weight may not be affecting you right now, but assuming that no changes are made, it will affect you in the future, because the fact of the matter is all of that body fat literally surrounding and suffocating your organs simply does no good to your health. But anyways, let's move on to more comments that were made. So in response to that, I say, so scared. Then she responds with, you actually should be. You're a pick-me. You don't know who you are, so you choose to be controversial so you can get the attention you were neglected. So the moment that someone calls me a pick-me is the moment that they let me know who they are. Let's just say that nobody who was right has ever called me a pick-me. Ladies and gentlemen, this is your classic liberal fat activist. And technically everyone is controversial, because most, if not all people, are going to have an opinion on a controversial topic that someone is going to disagree with. I just happen to share my controversial opinions, and so are you. See, people like you preach positivity and acceptance of all groups of people, but when someone opposes you or presents a different opinion than you, you jump at the opportunity to insult them and attack their character. And that's all I have to say. You have an amazing day, plus size Blanco.
I just can't believe we have so many Americans today sitting around not questioning the fact that the Hollywood elites, celebrities, the rich, have a different rule book to play by than we as middle-class Americans have to play by. While our kids are doing this, and our grandparents are doing that, the elites are doing this, and this, and this, and also this. Since when did fresh air come at a cost? Since when do our kids have to go to school and not even be able to see their teachers' faces and their friends' faces and feel like they're being suffocated inside of a crowded classroom with something over their face so that they don't get sick? Since when were we teaching our kids to live in fear? Since when were our grandparents who have respiratory issues and breathing problems being forced to cover up their only way of breathing in the air that God has provided for us? Why does Rihanna get to breathe, but they don't get to breathe? They're just shoving it down our throats at this point. Here's little Miss AOC, preacher for the Democrats, wearing a tax the rich dress at the Met Gala, where it costs $30,000 just to get in. But you see all those photographers and press behind her? Yeah, they have to wear a mask. It's kind of looking like rules for thee, not for me. Right, AOC? This is sick. This entire pandemic is based on a lie. We are not their slaves. We will never give up our freedom that we were promised according to the Constitution when we were born in this country. These celebrities, the left, they are not American. They're communists, and they're coming for your children and your freedom and your rights that you were promised as an American citizen. We will never back down, and we will never give up. This is a war that they've started, and we're gonna finish. We stand united under God. Don't ever forget that.
One of my pet peeves that I see between the fighting on here over the pandemic is when a vaccinated person turns to an unvaccinated person and be like, oh, well, you didn't know what was in the food and you eat that, or you don't know what was in the butt injections, or you don't know what's in that. Yeah, motherfucker, they didn't know what was in that shit. But was nobody threatening with their motherfucking jobs? Nobody's threatening you with your fucking freedom if you want to suck down a GMO sandwich. Nobody was threatening your freedom with the other shit that you didn't know what was in it. This shit that you don't know what's in it, they're taking your freedoms and doing a lot of suspicious tactics. So now motherfuckers gotta say, what the fuck is in this shit? You get it?
Everyone deserves all the rights. All of them. Except for fetuses. Fetuses don't get any of the rights. Oh, and if you're a white cis male, shut your mouth.
I want to go down on you and make you extremely happy. And then I want to come back up slowly and fuck you really hard. Yours truly, gas prices.
Hispanic people. Are we ready to have this conversation?
I don't think they're ready, man.
Because Latino people don't get a fucking pass. You don't get a pass. Because Latino people have been historically racist towards other people of color, other cultures, towards black people.
They go hard in the paint.
They go hard in the
they
paint
go pretty
against
fucking
that.
hard.
Ask another Latino man if he's going to let his daughter date a black man. Ask him genuinely, but then he's going to have no problem marching down the street with a BLM sign. And that goes also just as a broad statement in general.
Yeah.
But Latino people don't get a pass on that shit either. And I'm tired of seeing that shit. And not only are we racist towards other cultures, we're racist to our own culture. We have
colorism.
Yeah, we have major issues within accepting that a white Mexican has more authority over a darker Mexican, or that a dark Mexican looks down on another darker Mexican. So one of the biggest insults that you can say is calling somebody like an indio, which is like Indian, which means native, a short, dark person native to Mexico who has more native blood in them. That's an insult, and they're looked down on. There's the supremacy within Mexican culture. And there's a supremacy even in Mexican American culture that isn't spoken about, because if you date a woman who is from Mexico, who may be here legally, your parents are going to say, "Hey, man, be careful. She might be dating you only for her papers."
Whoa, dude! Mom, right?
Mom. And I say that because that happened from personal experience.
Yeah.
They ain't keep that same energy from last summer, did they? All that performative activism and using Black Death to get you some clout on this internet, boy, that shit ran out quick, didn't it? All them mainstream corporations came through, commodified the struggle, made them some dollars, and kept it moving and grooving like an Austin Powers movie. I would argue that most of 2020 was fueled by Black people, and that'll be business as usual. We back to being seen as exposable, disposable objects for anybody to use and abuse to get their own personal advancements on. Even the conservatives, that skin folk ain't keeping that same energy they had then in 2020. These folks did a little some of everything to encourage us to get to the voting booth in 2020. And now we're in 2021 and we see all this anti-voting restrictions coming out, and they ain't really saying much. But we already know how it go. Y'all gonna wait till 2022, 2024 to start talking about politics again. It's gonna be too late, damn now. Joe Biden had a lift every voice and scene plan. I'm not sure what part of that shit he done started on yet. Kamala Harris and Joe was like, "Black women, we seen what you did. We ain't gonna forget about you." Shit, they seem forgotten about now.